Now, she was such a lady. Chut Shama. She had grown emaciated, thin. Even the body skin was wrinkled. She was beaten by hunger and thirst often. Chut Shama cha tatha vidha. This is not the story of an affluent family. They were not given to any profession. They would not seek it. Their only profession was the prophecy of devotion. That's all. They stood by devotion. Whatever comes, they accepted it as an offering, as a reward from God. That is the Brahmana life. Tasya bharya kuchailasya. The word kuchela, especially in the south, we speak about not Sudama or Sridama. We speak about him as Kuchela. Actually, it has come from there, Kuchailasya. And his wife is considered here as Sushila. I don't know whether in the north all of you say that. Tasya bharya kuchailasya chutshama cha tatha vidha pativrata patim praha. It is not the story of one day, 1 week or 1 month. This happened to be the story year after year. The children are growing very emaciated. She herself was emaciated. And the husband also was not having good health. How long can this site go? After all, Sushila was a mother. Children will come. I know 4 lines of poetry. If I sing and explain, I don't know whether you will like it and understand it. Urakkujoru vasarandam Kazhikkumanjaru janangalipol Kizhakkudikum podudatmajanmar Kadalkku katti karayunnu kanta. This is 4 lines of poetry which I had learned in my school days about this particular story. They only had something like 150 grams of rice. And they have to spend the whole week, he says. And early in the morning when the sun rises, after some time the children will wake up and they will all come and cling to the saris, the single dress the mother was sharing. Catching hold of him, they will start crying and weeping. Mother, give us some food, give us some food. Where is something? Where is something? Please, we are hungry. What will be the plight of the mother? You tell me. Pativrata patim praha mlayata vadanena sa daridra sidamana sa vepamana abhigamyacha. She found it so intolerant. How long? It is not the story or the event of one day. Maybe 3 or 4 days you had enough to eat. One day you did not have. Our stomach and system can sustain it. But suppose it is starvation and starvation, poverty and poverty, fasting and fasting throughout. How can anybody tolerate? Pativrata, she was very devoted to the husband. A good household woman, whatever she has to say, good, bad or indifferent, to whom will she say that? Only to the husband. So one day she almost broke down, lost her heart. And she went to the husband. Pativrata patim praha mlayata vadanena sa. You should think of her face. It was fading. She hardly had breath and strength to speak something to the husband. So tired, exhausted she was. Mlayata vadanena sa daridrya sidamana sa. Daridrya, absolutely stricken, devoured by poverty. Sidamana, very much weak, almost crumbled. Vepamana abhigamyacha, shivering, trembling, she went to the husband. It was very difficult for her to leave the kitchen or the drawing room to go to where the husband was seated. He must have been reading some shastras, trying to think about some story, episodes, etc. So gently, falteringly, she went to the husband and then she spoke in this manner. Can you imagine? If you have the power of imagination, picture the scene in your mind. Nanu Brahman Bhagavataha Sakha Sakshat Shriyapadihi. Nanu Brahman Bhagavataha Sakha Sakshat Shriyapadihi. After marriage, we had so many pleasant conversations. And I remember distinctly, one day you told me that you had a friend, a classmate. You had a friend and a classmate. Nanu Brahman Bhagavataha Sakha Sakshat Shriyapadihi. Who is this friend and classmate? Sakshad Shriyaha Padihi. He is the consort of the goddess of prosperity, Mahalakshmi. I remember it. He was the Lakshmi Padi. I remember that you told me this. When he was your classmate, both of you were young. But now, actually, he is the Padi of Lakshmi. Sakha Sakshat Shriyapadihi Brahmanyascha Sharanyascha Bhagavan Sattvatarashabha. He is not just an ordinary man. Brahmanyascha, he has great respect for Brahmanas. Sharanyascha, he will not leave anybody or be indifferent to anybody who has sought refuge under him. He is very merciful, very compassionate, very considerate. He had special regard for Brahmanas also. Bhagavan Sattvatarashabha, he is noted and famous for protecting and safeguarding his devotees. He is Sakshat Bhagavan. With all the Shad Aishwaryas, he is now shining and living. Nanu Brahman Bhagavataha Sakha Sakshat Shriyapadihi Brahmanyascha Sharanyascha Bhagavan Sattvatarashabha Tamupaihi Mahabhaga Sadhunam cha Parayanam Dasyati Dravinam Bhuri Sidade Te Kudumbine. After all, Sushila is talking to her husband. So she doesn't have to speak quite a lot in order to convey the life of poverty and penury they were suffering from and managing. So she only had to give the final point. What is it that she wants from the husband? So she says, Tamupaihi Mahabhaga. See the manner in which she addresses the husband. Mahabhaga. You are a person of mighty experience. You have a magnificent heart and magnificent soul. Maybe we are surrounded by poverty in our bodily level, in our sensory range. But within that poor body, you are hosting a resplendent, magnificent soul that we should not forget. So you have every right to approach him. Every right. He may be a big emperor, Dwarakapati, and you may be a poor man. The difference in your economic state should not affect you. Because in your mind, you are a Brahmana and that too a Mahabhaga, and you are going to somebody who has great respect and regard for Brahmins, for Brahmanas. Tamupaihi Mahabhaga Sadhunam cha Parayanam. Tamupaihi, you approach him. Why don't you see him? After all, a friendly visit is always good. You will cherish it. So make a visit, decide to go there. Sadhunam cha Parayanam. He is actually a shade for all the noble souls in this world. Dasyati dravinam bhuri sidate te kudumbine. Dasyati dravinam bhuri sidate te kudumbine. You are a family person. After all, you are living in this world. Everybody has got a right to demand food from the mother, from the kingdom, from the king. What do you mean by welfare state? Everyone born in the nation should at least have the primary needs, food, shelter and clothing. Nobody should be allowed to starve. It is the responsibility of administration. So don't worry at all. Just go to him. Dasyati dravinam bhuri. After all, ours is a small family and our needs and requirements are minimum. So he will give you ample money or wealth whereby we can look after, make our both ends meet. Dasyati dravinam bhuri sidate te kudumbine. Especially when he comes to know of this kind of a story our family is undergoing. Aste dhuna dwaravatyam bhoja vrishni andhakeshwaraha smaradah padakamalam atmanam abhiyachadi kinvarthakaman bhajato Nyatya Bhishtan Jagadguruhu. See a beautiful description she gives. Aste Adhuna Dwaravatyam. Where is he living now? I have heard from you that he was born in Mathura, and fearing his uncle Kamsa, he was transported to Vrindavana, and in Vrindavana he had his life with the cowherd boys. And even when he was very young, His uncle called him to Mathura for witnessing the Dhanurveda. Actually, it was a stratagem to kill him and dispose of the nephew. He survived all that, and from Mathura, with his own prowess, resources, etc., he managed to construct a huge palace within the sea, and in Dwaraka he is living now. Aste adhuna dwaravatyam bhoja vrishni andhakeshwaraha. What is his status now? He is the Lord, he is the Ishvara of Bhojas, Vrishti and Andhakas. Bhoja Vrishni Andhakeshwaraha Smaradaha Padakamalam Atmanamapi Yachadi. Those people who remember fondly his feet, you know. Your friend is so graceful, so compassionate, so selfless. Whoever worships his feet, he will simply hand over and give the very self of his, keeping nothing as a residue. Such a great giver he is. An ocean-like person in his sympathy and concern. Kin varthakaman bhajado natyabhishtan jagadguruhu. He is a Jagadguru. While he is prepared to give his own very self, our requirement is only artha and kama. We only want a little prosperity or monetary resources in order to purchase some food and clothing and live with a little peace, so that the children will grow properly with a little nourishment, though not full. So our requirement is minimum. Smarataha padakamalam atmanamapi yachadi kinvarthakaman bhajado natyabhishtan jagadguruhu sayevam bharyaya vipro bahushaha prarthito mrudu. Sushila went and told him this. You know, Sudama's mind was not moved. The poverty in the sensory level was not able to overpower or subdue his devotional mind with its internal spiritual affluence. So he was not able to heed what his dear wife said. You know, the poverty is only external. It is the mind that makes us know and feel that I have a body. Even the feeling I have a body, mind generates. If the existence of the body itself is upon the mind, what about the poverty, the economic poverty we suffer from? And in the mind, he was always fostering that spiritual and excellent devotion to the Lord. When the mind is filled with devotional nectar, the economic poverty will be of no avail. This is how you understand how is devotional affluence gracing a person. He was not prepared to heed what his wife said. Sayevam bhadyaya vipro bahushaha prarthito mrudu. But Sushila did not relent. Now and then she started going and reminding the husband, this is my prayer, please take a trip, go and see your old friend. It will be a great festivity for you. Forget about other matters. At least you have an occasion to see him, and I am providing you one. You need not go of your own record. You can tell your friend that Sushila insisted upon me, and that is why I have come. In any way, you have to go, you have to go. This was the birthright of the wife, to tell the husband like this. Ayam hi paramo labha uttama shloka darshanam. When repeatedly pestered and prayed by Sushila, he decided, okay, I shall go. Why am I going there? Not to tell him of my poverty or my external economic needs. Ayam hi paramo labha uttama shloka darshanam. Anybody who is famous and glorious, anybody who is famous and glorious, who is magnificent, it is worth visiting him. To go to a sajjana and have a darshan, have a kataksha from him, a graceful glance from him, that itself is paramo labha, the supreme attainment in human life. We may not be able to become a magnificent soul ourselves, but to go and be proximate to the magnificent soul, go and prostrate before him, respect him. If possible, make whatever confession you feel like making and get a glance or a glimpse from him. This is the supreme attainment of human life. Ayam hi paramo labha uttama shloka darshanam Iti sanchindya manasa gamanaya matim dadhe. Iti sanchindya, thinking and contemplating upon in this manner, murmuring to himself in his own in this manner, gamanaya matim dadhe. One day, Sudama yielded. He decided, okay, I am going to act upon the words of my Sushila for the sake of herself and also the children. After all, I happen to be the father. I am supposed to provide for at least their food, shelter and clothing. I cannot fail in this obligation. Now my wife also is telling me repeatedly, so let me go, he decided. Iti sanchindya manasa gamanaya matim dadhe. When you go to any kind of a good or an honorable person, particularly go to the temple or go to a Mahatma, you cannot go empty-handed. Our tradition is very clear. You have to take something as an offering or an upahara or a gift. So he asked, Apyastyupayanam kinchid grihe kalyani diyatam. Apyastyupayanam kinchid. Yes, you have been telling me, I have been hearing you. Not that your words have not been heard, but my mind, because of its devotional clinging, devotional weddedness, it was refusing to think that we should go anywhere to seek an economic redress from anybody. After all, you should understand, I am a Brahmana and I am a Brahmavittamaha. So far as I am concerned, my knowledge of Brahman, itself should be a fulfilling element for me. Somehow I have become a husband, I have become a father, and all of us are suffering under utter penury. In spite of it, my Brahminical mind, the Brahmana mind, refuses me to accept and seek any pratigraha from anybody. Now today I have heeded, I have decided to go. But what shall I take, my dear wife Sushila? Apyastyupayanam kinchid. I hope all of you are with me, my dear viewers. Apyastyupayanam kinchid. In a house of starvation, what will be there to be given as a gift while the husband is going to Dwaraka? Dwaraka. What is Dwaraka? The exquisite palace within the ocean. And he is going to see not any officer there, but the Lord of Dwaraka. And when he goes there, can he go with the empty hand? He has to take something. So he was asking the wife, Apyastyupayanam kinchid. Almost with tearful eyes he was asking. And he was asking a tearful wife, Apyastyupayanam kinchid. I am reciting this line many times so that it will cling to your heart. Apyastyupayanam kinchid. Do you have anything, even a trifling, to give me, to be taken as an offering, a devotional, a love offering, a friendly offering to Krishna in Dwaraka? Grihe Kalyani Diyatam. My dear Kalyani, if you have anything in the corner of a house, please collect it and give it to me. I shall go. Iti sanchindya manasa gamanaya matim dadhe apyastyupayanam kinchid grihe kalyani diyatam. Poor woman Sushila, she didn't have to search. There was nothing in the house. All that they have is only something like rice or paddy or wheat. And whatever little was there, it was always insufficient for the daily requirement. So nothing, either a piece of cloth, good cloth, or a few pieces of cereal, nothing was there. At the same time, it was a festivity to her mind. The husband has nodded, he said, I shall go as you want, but give me something to be taken. So what did he do? Yajitva chaduro mushtin vipran pruthukatandulan chaila khandena tan budhva bhartre pradat upayanam. Yajitva chaduro mushtin. If there was nothing in her house, what could she do? See, without telling anybody, telling the husband, she went to the neighboring houses and said, will you please give me something? My husband has decided to go to Dwaraka, and he is asking me for giving something in the form of an upayana. So can you give something? So every one of them gave one fistful of some article. What was it? Flattened rice. It is something that can remain for a few days. It will not get spoiled. And whenever you put it in water, it gets soaked, and with a little salt or sugar or something, you can eat it also. It is rice with bran. Yajitva chaduro mushtin. After begging from the neighboring houses, she got 4 handfuls of fish. Mushtin, Vipran, Pruthugatandulan. She went and begged in the other Brahmana families, and she got 4 handfuls. Pruthugatandulan, Chaila Khandena Tan Badhva. It could not be wrapped up in a full piece of cloth. So she had a torn piece. In the torn piece, she folded it, put it inside, and with the same tip of the cloth, she tied it. This is what she did. Chaila Khandena Tan Badhva Bhartre Pradat Upayanam. And with a lot of tenderness, softness, expectation, hope, at the same time feeling of, what shall I say, guilt that I don't have anything to give, she handed it over to her husband. Bhartre Pradat Upayanam. Yajitva chaduro mushtin vipran pruthugatandulan chaila khandena tan badhva bhartre pradat upayanam. See the acute distress. The whole family was put to, and it was not, as I said, 1 day or 1 week, continuously for a long time, and nothing could be done. After all, when we are facing acute distress, and the entire visible world has no answer to give, no solution to offer, what shall we look at? We can only look at the invisible hands that shaped this visible universe. After all, we are here not because of our own choice, not because of our own wish or will. I am there, I am here, we all are here as denizens of the earth, as beings upon the surface of the earth. The earth itself is a planet. There are so many planets and heavenly bodies in the universe. The earth is only one small one. Along with the so many other planets, heavenly bodies, sun, moon, stars and the rest, everything is in a state of revolution, cyclic revolution. Our earth also is one. And the earth must have existed for countless millennia. Every one of us was born a few years back, a few years ago. Each generation has lived already quite long, and we are a member of a single family somewhere in the corner of this earth globe. My dear viewers, can you imagine, do you have sufficient power of imagination to reflect what is the acute plight that Sudama family was suffering from? Finally, the old Brahmana decided to go to Dwaraka, and he asked for something to be taken in the form of an offering or a gift. And he asked his dear wife, okay, I shall go, as you suggest. Though I am not willing to go, I shall certainly go. But give me something to be taken as a loving present, a token offering. And what would the wife do? She had nothing. She looked into the different corners of the room. There was nothing at all, not even a few pieces of cereal anywhere there. At the same time, she had to give something in the form of a present while Sudama was going to see the Dwaraka Lord. Poor woman, what did she do? If you don't have anything, the only way is to ask the others. This is exactly what a Brahmana would not do. All kinds of pradigraha are denied for him according to scriptural adherence. Nevertheless, being a woman, she decided to flout that law or disregard it, and went around, asked a few houses nearby, and all that she got, here is mentioned, Yajitva chaduro mushtin vipran pruthugatandulan. Yajitva chaduro mushtin vipran pruthugatandulan chaila khandena tan badhva bhartre pradat upayanam. Yajitva. She went on begging. Chaduro mushtin. All that she got were 4 handfuls of flattened rice. Can you imagine? Her husband was being sent to see the Lord of the Dwaraka. Where is Dwaraka and where is the Lord of Dwaraka? And where are these people? And what is it that he is taking? He is taking 4 handfuls of flattened rice.